Hey internet, and welcome to what I am considering episode 1 of UsTube. While I do want to get to the theory behind building communities and talk to other people about their experiences, I figured it made sense to start with my own experience, since that is the thing that started all of this. I started making videos back on January 15th of 2013. Despite having made content on other channels and consuming content for years previous to starting this channel, I still had no idea what it meant to be a creator. In fact, for the first 2 years that I had this channel, my experience on YouTube was making content and watching content, but never really engaging with the content or the creators or other viewers. For a lot of the time, I was really scared to write comments because I had heard all the horror stories and I'd seen all of the horrible comments that you could get. If I ever did make a comment, I would agonize over it for so long, and a lot of times end up talking myself out of posting it. It's hard to pinpoint when exactly this changed, but I do remember very specifically I got connected with my first ever friend on YouTube. I remember that this girl started leaving these really nice comments on my video, so naturally I went over to her channel, started checking out her videos, and started leaving comments on them. This is when I started to realize that people were not only watching videos of people that they didn't know and commenting, they were commenting to make connections. Once I found out how meaningful it was for me to get comments on my video, I started realizing that maybe it was a good thing to do that for other creators as well. So in 2015, I made it my goal to comment on every video that I watched. And the result of that is that I started finding other creators to watch. I started having larger creators respond back to me. I started having a more meaningful experience on the platform. Around this time, I started actively seeking out other smaller creators. I started looking in comment sections to find people who were making things that were compatible with what I was making. And I noticed that people were doing the same thing to me. It was just this awesome feeling to feel like you were a part of something bigger than just the videos that you're making. So as 2015 rolled along, I was getting really comfortable starting to build this community of my own, but I still hadn't really tried to foray into communities of larger creators. I was still very much into watching the videos of larger creators, and I was commenting on those videos. And if you had asked me at that time, I would have totally identified as a nerd fighter, which I still do. John and Hank's videos are something that I was very passionate about. They were changing the way that I was thinking about the world. But I didn't really understand how to become a part of that community and get active in it. It seemed like it was so big and so splintered in different ways. There were little things that I was doing, like I had made myself a part of the Kiva Nerd Fighter group. I was participating in Project for Awesome whenever I could. So I identified myself as a part of that large community, but I wasn't ever very consistently active in it other than leaving comments on videos. Then in November of 2015, I started consistently watching Michael Aranda's What I'm Doing Right Now vlog series. I initially started watching these videos because I knew that Michael Aranda was connected to other people in communities that I wanted to be a part of. I also really enjoyed the way that he vlogged. I thought it was an excellent style. I thought it was very engaging. So creatively, I was attracted to the work. But when I started commenting on the What I'm Doing Right Now videos, I realized that this was a community unlike any other that I had previously encountered. Not only were there people consistently coming back and watching every single video that Michael had posted and leaving engaging and interesting comments on them, but people were also starting conversations in the comments. I noticed that they knew each other's names, they knew things about each other's lives. And to be honest, it was a little bit intimidating because I was thinking, I am this new person, nobody knows who I am, should I even try to get into it? But what I found was that not only was the community thoughtful and interesting and engaging, but they were also kind and inviting. I started leaving comments and people started commenting back to me too. I started feeling comfortable getting into conversations with other people in the comments. I started learning people's names. I ended up doing Vita with these people. And now I'm happy to say that several people from this community I consider to be my friends. And I don't want to pass over the fact that Michael himself is very aware of the community. He does his best to engage with people and get the community to do things. In fact, he's talked multiple times on his vlogs about how amazing his community is and how grateful he is for them. I've had so many great experiences here on YouTube with my own community of smaller creators, with Michael Aranda's community of Arandanauts, and even with several other communities. All of these great experiences that I have had, plus experiences that I've heard other people talk about, have made me start to wonder what is happening here. How are these connections that we're making over YouTube, over a computer screen, so meaningful to people? And what's the special recipe to make it all work? Because it doesn't always work. That's why I'm doing this. It's not for any sort of official capacity. I just want to understand it a little bit more. So that's my story, but I would be absolutely remiss if I did a series on YouTube communities and didn't ask for any community involvement. So it's Abby from the future here. We're going to do this community segment here on UsTube where I'm going to ask you a question at the end of every episode. And if you want to, you can record a response and upload it to YouTube, make it unlisted, and then send me a link through one of my various social media accounts. I'll give you guys about a week to upload your responses and send me the link, and then I'm going to take clips from everyone's responses, put them together into a community response video with links to everyone's full videos so we can start making connections and people can see who is involved in this community. If you want more information on how to get involved, I'll leave better instructions down in the description below, and you can always ask me questions in the comments. Okay, back to past Abby. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed listening to my story and getting a little bit of an explanation about why this is so important to me and why I've decided to do it. For episode 2, we're going to get a little bit more scientific. We're going to take some time to delve into what researchers have to say about community building, specifically online. So I hope you'll join me for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. I just wanted to say a brief thank you to everybody that watched the introduction video and to everybody that responded to the survey. I had no idea that I would get as many responses as I did, and it was awesome, and I've already had a chance to talk to several of you, and the conversations have just been absolutely great, so I'm really, really excited for what that's going to mean for the rest of the project. If I haven't had a chance to get in touch with you yet, I'm really sorry. There were more people than I expected, so I will get in touch with you. It just might take a little bit longer.